Hi again, everybody. Scott Agness of FieldhouseFiles.com here. Subscribe to my channel and join me over at FieldhouseFiles.com. Well, today, Wednesday, it's Media Day here on Salesforce Court and throughout Gamebridge Fieldhouse. A nice break in the middle of training camp, what's been a hard, physical, tough training camp, but one that has everyone feeling good about the direction and how quickly they've been able to come together. And the other things you continue to hear is about the selflessness of how they all are in it for the right reasons and how they have a nice balance between veterans and rookies and experienced players and those with championships and those that are just looking to get over the hump. So that has led to this competitive camp, and it all starts because of those character traits that the front office and really the coaching staff as well attracted and reached out for leading into free agency. And then, of course, the draft. Now, Stephanie White back at the helm leading this Indiana Fever franchise for the second time. We saw her lead the team to the WNBA Finals in that first couple of years before moving on to Vanderbilt. But she has set a great foundation for where this team is headed, leading to her to day one have a message of unity, something they have all bought into on day one. But again, today, Wednesday, just a nice break in the training camp action. And then they'll have a couple more days of practice before a weekend slate with a home preseason game and then on the road Sunday in Iowa City. Now, come inside Indiana Fever Media Day and enjoy these interviews.
Yeah, I mean, we're 3 practices in, so been really, really pleased with the intensity, the energy, the effort, the communication. I think all the things that you want to see early in camp. I think Steph's done a tremendous job, her staff's done a tremendous job having us organized when we come in to make the most of our practices. And then you're really seeing some of that veteran leadership come through, the voices of DeWanna and Natasha and Sid and some of these folks that we brought in who have won championships in the past, really stepping up and talking to the group, pulling people aside, having conversations. So you love to see that. The energy, the enthusiasm, a lot of progress, a lot of work on the defensive end the first 3 days, which has been fun to see. But yeah, really pleased with what we've seen thus far.
Amber, so many of the players that come through talked about, hey, we're all in this for the right reasons and we're all selfless and all those certain things. How much does that set this team up for that success, given everyone's kind of at a different spot in their careers too?
Yeah, well, it was a focus going in. I mean, especially talking to Caitlin and Kelsey and Aliyah about the way they ended the season last year, how they really came together as a group to finish the season strong. And that culture was really a common theme from the three of them. So as we set out on free agency, having these conversations with people, we want great players, but we want people who are coming in here to win first and have that mentality and bring that culture. And I think, that's where the advantage of having Kelly and I who've been in the league for, 15, 20 years and know a lot of these players, very focused on specific people when you talk about Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner and Sid Colson, what they bring, not only skill-wise, but the culture aspect that they bring in the leadership. So definitely a focus for us, and we are seeing that come together. It's been tremendous to, again, see the energy and the effort and the teamwork among the group. They all have a common goal, which is, to win.
Is part of that culture is important to embrace expectation and embrace maybe people expecting it to go to another level this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think, listen, we're in this to win championships. It doesn't happen overnight. We've got a lot of work to do. It looks great on paper. Again, we're 3 days in. But that's always the we want that to be the standard. That is the standard that has been set here in Indiana with Tamika Catchings and, championships in the past. We want to get back to that. That's the goal. So we're certainly focused on that. And I think, again, when you bring in these players who have championship experience and have been there, some that are on the back half of their career, they're very motivated, and they bring a different level of intensity to a practice, to a workout, to everything we're doing, in showing our younger players how to do things the right way and what it takes to get to that level. So certainly we have aspirations to do that. This league is insanely good. Every night is difficult. So we know, you got to have a lot of luck. You got to have good health. You got to have that chemistry really come together. But that's always our goal, is to hang a banner.
How do you merge championship expectations with a team that doesn't have a lot of internal playoff experience at this point, even though you just added players, obviously?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what our hope was in adding these players, right? As you bring people with this experience that can speak to it, but also model behavior that the younger players can follow, again, in everything that they're doing, from the weight room to their nutrition to how they approach practice every single day. Every little detail matters, and that has been a common theme is, pay attention to every single detail. The devil's in the details, right? To get there. And again, we don't know if that will be the end result, but, we want to do things the right way in our effort to get there.
What have you noticed so far about Caitlin and Steph's relationship? As Makayla's up here just kind of glowing about her, talking about like how they can just pick the game apart, and do you see even similarities between how they see the game, kind of as basketball minds?
Yeah, I mean, they're both, just, I think, incredibly smart, high IQ basketball minds, and so when you get two people like that together, they just seem to go to the next level. So you can see it in conversations that they're having, in practice, how they communicate. Steph is such a tremendous communicator. Her whole staff is, really. I mean, it's unbelievable to watch their staff work. They are a well-oiled machine, and Steph really leads that charge, empowering her staff. But the players have a voice as well. You see, Caitlin being able to voice what she sees. And again, it's a great partnership. It's been fun to see that evolve thus far. It's going to be fun to see it when we take the court and how it translates on game night. But yeah, they're two really high IQ basketball people, and you kind of sometimes have to let them speak their own language with each other to take things to the next level. But it's been fun to watch.
What has stood out to you about after watching Caitlin's first few days of practices and the way in which she worked all throughout the off season, now that you're in it every day with her?
Yeah, really impressed. I mean, I started in early November, and there was rarely a day that I walked in here that the basketball wasn't bouncing in the off season, and Caitlin was in here working. So I've just been so impressed with her work ethic. I mean, she loves the game. She's a competitor, wants to win, wants to work at her craft, will do everything it takes on behalf of herself, but also this franchise and this team. She's very invested in what we're doing, ask a lot of questions. I have so enjoyed getting to know her as a person, and just having those conversations about what she wants us to be, right? Like the same with Kelsey, the same with Aliyah, who have been here a few years, and where we can take this the next level. But yeah, it's been fun getting to know Caitlin. She works incredibly hard, balances a lot, right? But basketball has always been the main thing, and I saw that firsthand through this offseason.
I saw that the team made a promotional film in Madam Walker Theater in Indiana Avenue. What's the significance of that, of the team aligning with a historic site like that in town?
Yeah, really cool to be able to shoot that promo shot in that historic venue and align with Madam C.J. Walker. That was very intentional, obviously. An incredible figure in the city of Indianapolis and just in general, right, in our history. So to be able to launch our campaign in that venue, I appreciate you noticing that. It was really cool to be able to storytell, and we'll continue to storytell around that.
You guys were really open in the offseason that re-signing Kelsey was one of the biggest focuses of the team. What has it been like to see her get out there and build relationships and gel with the teammates that you guys have brought in this season?
Yeah, you're exactly right. It was the number one focus for us in the offseason to make sure Kelsey Mitchell was back here. Such a key piece to this franchise for many, many years, through a lot of rough years, right? So I love that she's here and getting to experience, this moment and this opportunity. I don't know how it happens, but every single year Kelsey Mitchell gets faster. It's an unbelievable phenomenon. So she's come in here and set the tone for us every single day. I think when you talk about the vets that we brought in, it was a consistent theme that they were all really excited to play with Kelsey Mitchell. She is so well respected around this league, and I just love that she's getting the shine that she really deserves. And when we look at, the foundations of this franchise, you have Tamika Catchings, and Kelsey Mitchell is the next piece of the foundation of this franchise in this last era. So really excited for her, excited that we were able to do what we were able to do in free agency, and again, let her cook every single night.
Do you know who the original number 22 was on the roster?
I might know who that was. Yeah.
Do you know how many points number 22 averaged a game in that original season?
Not a lot, but I don't know.
7.2.
Okay.
But as Caitlin said, you probably were a good ball distributor.
Yeah, I sat on the bench a lot. Played a lot of different roles.
Still a fan favorite though. What, just in general, what was the excitement? You look at where the excitement for women's basketball is in this franchise based on that inaugural year when we don't know what it's going to be like and how long it's going to go.
What took everybody so long is the first thing that comes to mind. I think just being a part of this league, really. I mean, I came into this league in 1999, and being a part of this league for so long, and thinking back to our first CBA and just wanting insurance all year long to where this league is now. It's just, it's what we always thought it would be, should be, could be, and I'm thankful that I'm just still a part of it.
Coach, Amber has been very open that re-signing Kelsey Mitchell was one of the biggest focuses and one of the key points of the offseason. What has it been like to get on the court and start being able to coach a player like Kelsey?
It's been so much fun. I mean, yeah, she's right. That was priority number one, right? And, certainly thinking about, I've been watching Kelsey Mitchell since she was a freshman in college, covered her games a lot with Big Ten Network, and have always not just admired her game and the way that she plays, but the way that she works. She was always the first one in the gym. I remember watching her a ton, working out with her dad, and just the things that she was working on showed what type of worker she was. And for us as a staff to be able to utilize her natural God-given talent, her ability to just score the basketball and trying to put her in positions to do that in a lot easier way, I think is fun for us. And being on the floor with her, it's just, she's faster than she even seems when you're on the sideline, when you're seeing her every single day. She wants to be great. She's playing, with probably the most talented team she's ever been a part of. And so I'm just really thankful that she's still in a Fever jersey.
What has been the impact for you being back in Indiana? How have you enjoyed it and related with family and things like that? Just for coincidence, the other day I had lunch with a guy who covered some of your high school games.
Wasn't you?
No.
Oh.
He's not here. He's not even in sports.
Oh, okay.
He works for IU these days, but he told me
He went to that side.
He said, I don't remember high school.
It's been great. Yeah, I mean, it's been great. It's and I say it, and it sounds cliche, but it's really true. I mean, it's coming home. I grew up with a lot of these people that are in this building. I watched people grow up that are in this building, right? I mean, it's such a family feel with this organization, with basketball in the state of Indiana. It is coming home, and there's a certain peace that comes with that. Just as there's a certain comfort level that comes with that. But at the end of the day, we also know that we have a job to do, right? And so it's great to be back and to be familiar and to be a part of this franchise that's such a fabric of my DNA. But now that's over. We've started, and now it's time to play basketball.
Steph, a lot's rightfully been made of the championship additions to this team, the winners and the people who have been there. How have you started to see them kind of mesh on the floor with the young core and with one another?
Yeah, they've done a great job. I mean, first and foremost, you hear it vocally, just in setting the expectations and in talking about some of the little nuance, whether it's spacing or whether it's timing, whether it's intensity level in a drill. You hear them vocally. And then secondly, you see them leading by example. I think the challenge sometimes for veterans when you come in is to grow the young ones in terms of their leadership. So being willing to help navigate, but also being willing to listen. And this group has been outstanding in that. And they just raise the intensity level. I mean, we have a core group that's pretty intense in general, but when you have players like DB and Tosh and Sid and Sophie that come in and just demand excellence daily, it just takes it to another level.
This is the highest expectations the Fever have had in a long time. You've obviously coached a great team before. What does it take throughout a season to stay on top of that when things get hard, or just keep everybody focused and not distracted?
Yeah, I mean, first things first, we got to talk about it, right? We have to make sure that you can't rely on talent. We've seen it throughout the course of professional sports. Like, talent enough isn't good enough, right? We have to rely on our daily disciplines. Our motivation is fleeting. Our feelings are fleeting, but we have to be disciplined in how we attack every single day. Our job as coaches is to maintain that level, not just the level that we expect, but the level that we accept on a daily basis. And so making sure we talk about it. It also takes a little bit of luck, right? Like when we're trying to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, a lot of things have to align. We got to put it together quickly, That's our job, to put it together quickly. We have to stay healthy. We want to be peaking at the right time. I know everybody expects us to compete for a championship in May. Well, that's not realistic. Like, we've got to make sure that we're taking our daily steps, and we're getting better, and we're stacking days, and we put the best team and the best combinations on the floor that we can.
You mentioned staying level. How have you learned as a coach over the years to be better at that when things are hard or challenging?
Age. Certainly I think life experience. You can ask probably anybody that's over 40, close to 50, over 50, like, life happens, right? Like, yes, we want to win, and yes, we're going to position ourselves to win, and yes, that's our ultimate goal. But life experience teaches us to not be too high, not be too low, that we have to approach each day and value each day with a certain discipline, a certain expectation, a certain understanding, and we have to go out and we have to live it.
Steph, tagging on that, I know some coaches will maybe shy away from talking about, hey, best roster I've been around 25 years, etc. Why was it so important for you to be so transparent about that, especially with your team?
Hey, see, you got me in trouble with that 2012 team. So, I think the most important thing is honesty and transparency and communication. I think that's always just how I've operated. It's how I wanted to be coached. It's how I want to coach. And look, like most good teams have that 8 probably player rotation. Like, we have 8 players who could start in this league. We've got a 9-10 player rotation that we can use on any given day right now. And so I think the quality of depth, and look, let's be honest, the league and the talent across the league is better than it's ever been. These young players that are coming in who have only known the WNBA, as opposed to some periods of time throughout the course of the WNBA where you're getting players who had regular jobs and then came back to play in the WNBA. And so the talent level across the board is as deep as it's ever been. Pressure is a privilege. It is. Like, we all know, everybody who's been a part of a team, everybody who's won championships, everybody who's been a part of growing something special knows that a lot of things have to fall in line for you to win a championship. They do. That's why it's so incredibly difficult. But we're not shying away from the fact that we want to win a championship, that we want to position ourselves every single day to win a championship.
How did you land on unity as your opening message?
What's that?
How did you land on unity as your opening message?
Well, because we have the deepest team probably that I've ever been a part of, it takes everybody, and it takes sacrifice. There are players who probably should be in rotation that might not be at times. There are players who probably should be playing more minutes that won't be at times. There are players who have open shots that pass up the shot to get the best shot on the floor. Everybody's going to have to sacrifice at some point for us to be as good as we can be. And so if you talk to people who have won championships, they talk about being stars in your role. They talk about playing outside of position. They talk about not being in rotation, right? And we have players on our team that have won championships that have done just that. They haven't been the superstars. They haven't been the one that's been asked to score all the points, right? Or to make all the assists. They've been asked to be role players and stars in their role, sometimes not playing to having to be thrown out into the fire and staying ready. And that's what it's going to take. So we have to be unified. We have to be together in everything that we do. We have to sacrifice for the Indiana Fever.
We didn't ask you the first day. Any injuries of concern here on the first week
No,
of
thank
practice?
God, Scotty.
Yep.
Thank you, Steph. All good.
Lou, what's kind of the emotions going into kind of a year 2 and all the hype that has come with this team and how much you look forward to all of that?
I'm excited. I think having a fresh start in a sense has been really great for us. I think just being able to practice and work out the way that we have been, I think it really shows what we're capable of, and so I'm excited to get started.
A lot of expectations for you guys this year. What do you think will be key in managing that for the first time of your career?
I think it's going to be keeping the main thing. For us, it's about winning, making sure that we continue to protect our locker room and don't let outside noise get in. And I think last year was a great start to that. And to be able to do it this year, I feel like we already know what's to come.
You didn't like your start of the season last year. What steps did you take this offseason to get off to a stronger start this year?
I feel like one of the biggest things in that area was just getting to know and getting to play with Caitlin. I think Caitlin plays such a fast-paced game, and for me, I feel like the year before that, it wasn't as fast, and then coming in kind of having that same expectation of the way that we played the year before, and then coming in and Caitlin loves to play really fast, so I think that was definitely the adjustment. But I think knowing that and having that mindset just helped in the offseason because I know exactly where I need to be.
Aliyah, do you remember, DeWanna had mentioned earlier that before she made her decision that she talked with you about, what to kind of expect in Indiana and your relationship with her maybe. So what do you remember from those conversations you had with her?
I was super excited to talk to DB, especially that first time, just talking about Indiana, and I just told her what number one fan base we have here, but also just the people and the players that we have here that make this so special. I talked about exactly how we played and how far we made it, and now especially thinking about the addition of having her would just take it to another level, especially just because she's so experienced at winning, and I feel like that's exactly what we need, especially in this league.
Was there a way that she also poured into you in those conversations?
She did. She told me that my play is going to be super important for us and our success. And so for me, I think being able to learn from her, but also have a vet that'll push me to the level that she knows I can get to is really special for me.
Is there anything different? Is there anything different about how you approach relationship building from your time at South Carolina or last year to this year? And if not, just can you explain your approach to how you build relationships?
Yeah, I feel like it's always been the same. For me, it's about being who I am, not changing who I am. And I think people are able to just, I attract just that great energy, I think, and not bragging on myself. But I feel like just because the way that I approach everyone, I always want to make sure everyone's smiling. And I feel like when that's your approach, make sure that everyone's good. It's so easy to build that relationship because you just get comfortable with each other really quickly.
Do you think that the way you guys were selling out every single game last year, it was a surprise to you at first, but it became a normal thing? It was a good selling point for the free agents to come in?
I think so. I mean, who doesn't want to play sold out crowds at home? And when you're away, you have just a bunch of people that are wearing Fever jerseys. I think that's so important because you know that you always have a family and coming from the fans because they're always going to cheer you on.
Aliyah, did you know that this is 25 years ago was the first Fever team? Did you know that?
Of course I did. Go Fever.
Can you name one player on that team?
I feel like I should just leave that for them, really. I think it's just about...
Did you know that Stephanie was on that first team?
Yes, of course, but I didn't want to, because now she's going to say I'm trying to age her. I'm like, I'm trying to age you.
All right, last guess for you. How many points do you think she averaged a game that year?
Steph? Like 25. 15. 7. That's fine.
It's her number.
Exactly. I should have known.
Aliyah, what has it been like getting onto the practice court and mixing up with DeWanna and Natasha and the veteran post players? And what do they bring to the court now that you've had a chance to get on there and play with them?
Yeah, it's been great. They bring a lot of energy. I think there's no better feeling than that. I mean, even looking at Tosh pick up full court and she's making defenders turn, like that's super impressive, and it's special because it allows me to see once again what it takes to be on those winning teams and the type of energy that you have to come with every single day.
Has that made a change for training camp this year in these first few practices, just having that experience in the room?
Definitely. I feel like experience is always going to be able to go a long way, and for us, I still think we're relatively young. Like I'm going into my 3rd year, Kaylin in her 2nd, Lexie in her 4th. It's like you still have so many ways to grow, and being able to come in on day one and see the type of energy, see the type of environment that we're in has been amazing.
Do you like the idea of going to college campuses for preseason games, and what does that do? Is that something they should do going forward?
I think it's pretty cool. Yeah. I really do. I think it's a great way to once again bridge that gap between college and the WNBA, and you're also able to see for some of the fans that can't get out to the Fever games or can't get out to different WNBA games, when you're able to bring that back there, it feels like, whoa, I got to see her play in college and now I get to see her play professionally, and there's no better feeling than that. So I think it's a great idea.
What was Steph's message just in her first team meeting?
Unity. I think that was the biggest thing. We talked about it earlier, even in this, is the outside noise. And so for her, it's about sticking together, making sure that we are a tight unit, that nothing can poke holes in between what we have going, because that's one way to go down, and we don't want to go down.
I think that's been a theme. A lot of players, like Sophie was like, yeah, everybody's here for the right reasons,
yes,
and those sort of things. How have you seen that kind of manifest in the first week just so far?
I mean, just by how we operate with each other off the court, how we are on the court, I think being able to be selfless is another thing that we talked about in the team meetings, like giving up a good shot for a great shot. And I think that's just super important, because when you get in games, you never know when your number is going to be called to hit that big shot, and being able to trust each other to be able to do it is going to be important for us.
As you mentioned, this is your 3rd season in the WNBA. How is the league different than what you expected as a rookie? Like what surprised you?
I feel like when I came in as a rookie, I didn't really have any expectations. For me, I mean, it's super easy to listen to what other people are saying and kind of use that as your own opinion, but I kind of wanted to just come in and learn and see what it's all about. And honestly, I love it. I mean, I love that we charter now, even though I was a big mileage girl. I talked about that my first time. And so, I mean, I think it's grown so much. So many eyes have really came upon the league from my rookie season to now my third year. And I'm glad to be a part of it.
Aliyah, I saw that the team made a promotional film at Madam Walker Theater on Indiana Avenue. What's that mean in terms of significance with the Fever aligning with that historic site?
Yeah, I think it's special. Not only like you think of everyone that support the Fever, but being able to tie in that to a historic site like that, I think is super special. And it just once again shows the bond that between sports and women's sports and the whole city of Indiana is really capable of.
Have you given much thought to what you want to see more growth from the league, and in what ways? Obviously, charter was the big deal last year, and you're going into the final year of this collective bargaining agreement.
Yeah, I feel like the easy answer out of that is definitely just being able to get paid more. But honestly, I think everything is a stepping stone, and I think we're going in the right direction for this league. And so I'm just gonna be ready to be a part of it. Every change that comes, I'll be ready and I'll be excited for it. But yeah.
Got time for about two more. Aliyah, now that you've had a year playing with each other, where do you see the biggest difference in Caitlin, like at this time this year compared to maybe last year?
I feel like everyone talks about it. I'll see it on social media. They'll be like, Caitlin has so strong muscles, and don't tell her I said that either. don't even mention that. Yeah. But I think her strength, I mean, she gets in the paint and she's able to bully her way in and finish strong at the basket. I mean, everyone talks about, once again, her three-point shooting, and we've all seen her passing, but I think her ability to get downhill and really just stay on balance and score the ball, I think is going to be great this year too.
How would you explain the shift in the organization's culture from when you first arrived here to now?
Yeah, there's definitely been a shift, but I feel like they've always supported women's basketball, and they've always just wanted us to make sure that we feel that same love as every other WNBA team, but also as the Pacers, right? Because they're right around the corner. And so I think they just did a fantastic job of making us feel like we're important as well, because we are, period.
I guess to that point, how does this kind of compare to what you are used to?
Oh man, yeah, totally different atmosphere. The support here has been just phenomenal. I really can't go anywhere. I've been here like a week and a half, and everywhere I go, it's just like, we're excited for the season. You know, thank you for being here. So it's been really, really refreshing, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm sorry?
You get that on the streets?
Yeah, everywhere I go, it's just, can't even go to the grocery store without someone saying how excited they are. So it's just been really refreshing. I'm excited to be here.
By that being said, how much does that excite you for the upcoming season, knowing that you got a fan base here that loves basketball, loves this team?
Yeah, I don't know if I even like really realized yet, because I haven't like played in front of it. So I'm excited to get a little bit of a taste on Saturday, but I can only imagine how the first game is going to be. You know, playing here as an opponent, it's hard to play here. They get loud, they get crazy. Last year in Connecticut, we just kept saying, we know we can't take this thing back to Indiana. We got to finish it at home because it was going to be insane. So I'm excited to be a part of it, and them cheering for me for once instead of against me.
Where was the most random place you've been stopped?
I don't really get out too much. I haven't yet, but you could literally be just walking down the street, you know, anywhere, and it's just, I was in Kroger the other day just picking up some fruit, and they're like, oh man, you know, like super excited for the season. Just been really refreshing to be here, and saying how the welcome has been. You know, you never know how it's going to go when you come into a new team, a new organization, but this has been phenomenal since I've been here.
That happened to you a lot when you were past stops or in college at all? People recognize you out in public?
Not as much as here. That's for sure. The eyes are on you here. The lights are bright, but I think we got the Fever organization do a good job of taking care of me, and since I've been here, me and my family and my teammates has been great. Aliyah, Caitlin, and Kelsey has been great, kind of showing everybody the ropes, because they did play in this atmosphere last year. So just having someone who's done it, it's been pretty helpful. So.
What has been the balance been like? How much you guys want to run offensively, but also realizing, hey, we got to reset and assert ourselves defensively and make that a priority?
We know we have to do that. I said we were last year in defense 11th, I think Steph said. So that's kind of been our emphasis. That's what we start practice with, is defense, and we kind of just keep it there. So everybody's been putting an effort towards it. You know, you can't win without playing defense. Yeah, we have all the firepower on offense, but I think it's been a focal point, and yeah, we're serious about it.
DB, when you think back to free agency, I know you mentioned you talked with a few players maybe before making your decision. Do you remember who you talked to and like what sorts of conversations you had?
Yeah, I talked to AB, CC, and Kelsey, just kind of understanding Indiana. It's different, especially last year, than what the past FIBA season has been, and just with the fan base and how the organization run. And I'm a 15-year vet, so I kind of like things a certain way, and I just wanted to make sure it was a fit for me, and just mixing like young and a little bit of old energy in and how it would flow. So just talking to those three and understanding what they wanted and their goals, because I came here to win, and that's what we did in Connecticut, so I kind of wanted to continue that, and that's what they wanted. So yeah, that's how I ended up here. Yeah.
Was there something any of them said that really stuck out to you? It gave you, a little bit of relief, or just like, like this, I think will work out for me.
They want to win. That's all I needed. That's all I needed to hear. They want to win. They wanted to be led. They didn't have any experience last year in playoffs. It's totally different. So just taking the mindset on from the beginning, I feel like that's been our mindset in training camp. And they've just been really receptive to me and being the leader, but also I've been following them a little bit too, because like I said, no one understands playing in this type of environment but the people who've done it, and just listening to them, it's been really refreshing. Yeah.
DeWanna, how important is it for a team to embrace expectation? If you want to reach the top of the mountain, you got to really kind of embrace it, don't you?
I don't even know if we have expectations. It's so many new faces. We got like 7 new players. Front office is new. The coach is new. So we're just all just trying to figure it out day by day, and just trying to figure out what our strengths are and how we could play with each other. I don't know if I, in 15 years, have been on a team where we had this much firepower throughout the whole roster. And even our rookies in camp it's been competitive, it's been great. So just trying to figure out how we all can fit and how we can all make these rotations work. Giving each other a lot of grace, because we have people that coming in that, like myself, haven't played since, losing last year in the playoffs. So just all trying to figure it out. And I think that's the most exciting part, because we have so many firepowers. We can just go any way, any given night, and just be unpredictable. So just making sure everybody locked in on the goal and understand what we want to do, and just taking it day by day.
Is the only way you can get that chemistry is go out there and play games? You can't just fake it.
Oh yeah, you got to go out there and play games, but also off the court. I think we've been doing a good job in our locker room, getting to know one another. Like, kind of privately. Like I said, there's always a lot of eyes on Indiana, so just taking the time when we can to get to know each other and have that chemistry off the court, because if you don't have it in your locker room, there's no need to even stepping on the court, because it just won't work. So
getting all of that firepower in a room can sometimes be a recipe for disaster, but you guys are really embracing it.
Yeah.
How do you put the ego aside and embrace it so that you guys can have this really successful on-court product?
I think we have a great group of I want to say girls, but they're ladies. A great group of ladies who understand that, and they just simply want to win and take this franchise to a different level than what they were last year in the playoffs. And it has been really easy, surprisingly. Of course, we haven't competed yet in the heat of the battle, but I think just laying the foundation from training camp, we want to do this for each other, that we know we're going to have to take some sacrifices. We know we're going to have to change some things about our game. We've seen it. We've seen the teams who won, and they had to do the same. So I think we're just all ready to adjust, and it's all fun when you're winning, so that's what we have to do.
You mentioned the newness. Because there's so much of it, do you almost feel like it's an advantage and it's a blank slate, or a challenge, and you guys have a lot to learn and figure out with each other?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I even thought about it like that. I won't say it's a challenge. I think it's exciting. Yeah, it's exciting because, like I said, there's just so many rotations and combinations you can play with, and you can play this person at point. You can play, like Sophie can play 1 through 4. You got CC now can play off the ball. I could play the post, and Tasha could play the guard. So it's just it's exciting. I'm glad I don't have to do it. I leave it to Steph, and I just, the players just give her grace, because this is new for her too. So we all just giving each other grace and trying to figure it out. But at the same time, we have a goal. We want to win, and a mindset. And we come in here every day. We work for it.
A couple more.
How do you think about the idea of teams usually needing to go through battle scars and often coming up short of a championship before finally getting over the hump? And how do you square that idea with knowing that you have a lot of vets and players on 1-year contracts and want to win right now?
Well, they got kicked out of playoffs pretty early, so I feel like that's a challenge within itself for those three. I came up short in the semifinals. I think that's a challenge for us. I think Tosh she didn't make playoffs. So I think everybody have their own different challenges, and at different points of their career and just trying to bring it together. What's the point of putting this roster together if you're not going to compete for a championship no matter what adversity you faced before? It's kind of like a new clean slate, and you got to have a chip on your shoulder from the beginning.
What have you learned about Stephanie as a coach?
This is my second year, so I had Stephanie in Connecticut, and so it's kind of be an easy transition. But yeah, she's tough. She holds everyone accountable. I think she's doing a great job with this group and just putting us in great positions to be successful and getting everybody to buy in. So that was the first part. But yeah, Steph is tough. But she also is a player coach, and she understands like when you have to give someone grace or you have to give someone a pat on the back instead of yelling at them. So it's just been good. I feel like this group has been refreshing. I always walk around like, and I ask Kelsey and I ask CC like, how you feel? Like, I want it to feel different for them. You know, I want them to enjoy the process. I don't want to feel like, you know, someone's coming in and taking over or anything like that. So I always try to check on them and take care of them.
There's been a lot of talk this week about the on-the-court wisdom and veteran experience you're bringing. Is there any off-the-court stuff that you're also sharing with like the younger players?
Yeah, for sure. We have our own little group chat, and I just try to throw little nuggets in there and just trying to change it. If we would say we're going to be one of these top organizations, we have to be about it. So I kind of hold them accountable on little things that needs to be done, that needs to be tightened up, and they have been very responsive to it. And yeah, and if they don't do it, I get them. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's been pretty cool.
I had years ago reported from China. You can tell me a little bit about this experience with them. How you treated, what did you think of the environment, and your team decided to do?
China was an experience. Culturally, I was able to learn a lot. The food was very interesting. I was able to try a lot of different things that I didn't know. But overall, I think the basketball, which was the reason I was there, was very impactful. Very rough and rugged basketball. You kind of got to get out the mud there. So it's kind of like, I don't know, I grew a different respect for how they play basketball internationally. So it was a good experience overall, though.
It's not the same food as people can hear.
No, not at all.
Yes, I know you have a huge appreciation for this game.
Yeah.
And this moment that you're in right now in your career. How much are you looking forward to this opportunity to play with these ladies here and try to win a championship?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I'm very excited. Anybody that know me, like I kind of just look at the basketball part for what it is. And I look at year 8 and where it started. And I don't know, I never thought I'd be here. I'll be honest about that. But I'm grateful for the experience. And I think, like, having this group and having us in the city of Indianapolis, I think, like, the best of both worlds is happening right now. So I'm going to bask in it and just kind of enjoy the moment.
This is by far the highest expectations a team you've been on this
Yeah.
How do you manage that yourself? Or how do you handle that going into the year?
I really never thought about it like that. I'm sorry, but I think for me, I've always been in tune to the basketball part, and so for me, that's easy. Anything that you said or label our team as, whether it was good or bad, I've always dealt with it. I've kind of seen it all, but to know that there's a little bit more pressure to kind of like win, quote unquote, I think that'll take care of itself. So I'm not too worried about it.
You like that idea of having the pressure on you guys?
Kind of. It's kind of just like you fight or flight at that point. You can't turn away. And I think that, you know, individually I prepare, but I also trust my team. I think individually they prepare, and I think collectively we prepared to be in this moment. And so we're going to do that and do our best at it.
How do you pair the experience you've had with this franchise in the years that you've been here with, you know, the championship experience, the younger people, and just kind of this whole merged, you know, put out that on-court product?
I think it was always a part of the process. I think that, you know, there wouldn't be Indianapolis without what happened in the past years. Obviously, I think Tamika Catching's done a great job at paving the way, along with like your Stephanie Whites and, you know, Larkin and all those guys. So for us to be here and me go through the trenches, kind of so to speak, with, you know, everything that Indy's been through, and to see it now full. I'm grateful I was a part of the process. I've seen it in every era, in every way, and so I can look back on it now and say it was worth it.
To be such a big part of that process, and then to know that Stephanie White is your coach, what has that been like, just kind of through the, you know, settling into it?
Player to player, because she was once a player. It's dope to have a basketball mind that once done it. Not the other coaches have it, but I think that it's a different respect for it because she's actually, like, you know, literally been through it here at this franchise, and so it's a different appreciation for the winning that she's done in Connecticut. And so for her to come and like take the time for like me and Kaylin, AB and all our young ones, we appreciate it, and we you know, our goal is not to let her down.
Kelsey, given all your circumstances and going to the barn and all those
Yeah.
different, what was your reaction when you learned about this $78 million practice facility and something
Oh,
that potentially you'll be able to enjoy down the road?
They sent me like a mock-up, and I was at home. I just got back from China, and I literally was baffled because, you know, you see it on like the college universities got all this like nice and glitz and glamour, but to know that people are taking time to actually like pour into what is and what could be for time to come, I'm absolutely grateful. And then like on a more personable like player level, I'm so grateful because it's like we don't have that season or those seasons to like take off season. And so the facility that they're building, we have now somewhere to come and really like, you know, stay and like be a market in Indianapolis and keep getting better in the off season. And so I'm grateful for the fact that they've taken time to like pour into us for real.
What do you remember about your first year and the culture around the organization?
Oh man, the culture was always one of those things that Indiana basketball was always ingrained regardless. But I do think the dynamic and the impact that's been changed from year to year, it showed from where I started. I had the vets that are now like coaching and stuff, and so now I look back on it and I'm on a different fold of it. I just thank God that I can be able to say that I was a part of it and see from year 1 to year 8 how far I've come and how far this franchise come.
With the new coach and stuff, new front office, just how have you seen the culture changing from last year to this year?
I don't know, just like even like us going to the Pacers game yesterday, it's like the aura is just different. We sit and watch games like we like been family for like years, kind of like. I sat there with like C-Square, I sat there with Caitlin, and we just talk about basketball. And then I sit with Stephanie and we talk about basketball. And it's like for some reason like the love language that we all have for basketball just kind of made, I don't know, the culture easy to be around this time around.
Kelsey, Iowa fans were such a huge, dedicated part of the fan base last season.
Yeah.
What's the excitement level going into Iowa City and going to their area?
We talked about this the other day as a team, and I've never really been to Iowa like in this regard. I'm in the Big Ten, so you know I've seen a little bit. But I would say that now on a different side of seeing Kaylin be supported and be loved and be poured into, I think that opportunity would be really, really great for me. These people love who she is and what she's brought to their state. So me getting to see it up close as a teammate, I'm kind of excited because I never seen Iowa City and how they get down. So we're going to see.
It gets crazy out there.
Okay.
Hey, Kelsey, you mentioned you knew Steph had coached here before and played here. Did you know that she was on the original Fever team 25 years ago?
I found out like 2 or 3 days ago because she was talking to Catch about it, but I did not know that, which makes it so much more important for us not to mess this up.
Can you guess how many points she averaged a game on that first team? I'll give you 3 guesses.
I'm going to say like 11.5. Like 8 points a game. Whoa. That's my last one?
You're close.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be in the middle. I'm gonna be like 5.5, 6.
7.2.
Damn, 2 more.
Kelsey, is it fair to say maybe you have a different joy about you this season? You seem like a lot more yourself, if that makes sense. Do you feel that way?
I don't know, man. I've been through a lot, and my last year has been very life altering. I think mental health is real. I think taking time to really bask in where you are individually. I think pain and grief is real, and so when I look back at how far I've come, really like, you know, going through a training camp last year with like pain and death, I now like on the other end of it is so much more to be grateful about. And like in the absence of my father, I feel like I owe to myself to kind of be who I am, and that's what I'm gonna be. So I'm excited.
As a team, what is a successful season for you guys as a team?
Success. I think for one, it's not letting this deteriorate what we are. I think that this is a process, and I think success for us is really taking each game like we're supposed to. And I think if you trust in this group, let it be winning. And if winning is gonna be our goal and be our impact, then that's the standard for us. And I think for us, the goal is to win as much as we possibly can.
How would you describe just the culture around this team compared to the last Fever team you were a part of?
The culture with this team is completely different. Like, you know, there's a lot of energy, a lot of determination, passion on this team. I would say it's kind of the same, but the team I was on, we had older players, a lot of players that had a lot of experience, but this team right here have experience too. They actually want to learn more, and they are hungry. We're hungry this season to do a lot of things that a lot of people expect that we won't be able to do this year.
What have these first few days of training camp been like? Are they what you expected, kind of reuniting with Steph, or how have they been like?
I won't say it's different. Like, you know, with Steph, like she's different this year compared to when I played in 2015 with her. It's completely different. Like, her coaching style is like the same, but it's completely different. Like, I can tell that she evolved a lot when it comes to coaching, and also the things that she's been throwing at us, even the younger players as well. But overall, everything's been really good for the past three days we had training camp. So it's been really good. We've been going at it, so it's been amazing.
How about all the newness? Like, it seemed probably every day where something's new and where chemistry's developing further in the locker room.
Absolutely. Our chemistry is growing each day. Starting Saturday when we actually had our team meeting and stuff like that, everything's been like clicking, and things been going so well for the people that have been in the league for a long time, and also the people that have been playing for 2, and the rookies as well. Like, everything's been thrown at every single person so far, and we've been catching it and grabbing it and also running with it as things have been progressing so far.
You an individual goal setter?
I am.
What do you want to accomplish this year?
One thing for me, I actually want to win MVP. I was close to winning it in 2019 though, but that's years now. But getting MVP and also Defensive Player of the Year, but at the end is holding a trophy.
Josh, do you remember, like, did you talk with players, like, in free agency when you were making your decision? Did you talk to some of the players that were here, and did that help you make your decision, just getting to know them a little bit, or was it more just you were on your own kind of process and journey?
I'm kind of on my own. You know, like, me and my family, we talked about it, I prayed about it, and God actually put it on my heart to tell me, like, go back to where you started. And I'm happy to be back here, and it just feels good to, like, it's like a whole 360 all over again, and actually be back to here wearing a Fever jersey again, and also being coached by Steph again. So it's just amazing for me that I'm blessed to be back.
This is a very, very deep team this year. What has it been like seeing this team come together as you guys have been able to start practicing and playing together?
It's been amazing. It's really been amazing. Like, every single person want to learn, grow, get better as a player and as a teammate. You know, like I said, we are hungry. We're hungry and we're ready to win, and we're ready to do a lot of things that are going to shock the league this year.
Have you guys been explicit about wanting to win a championship, or has Steph been explicit about that, or does it not need to be said, or?
We talk about it. We talk about it. We don't really talk about it a lot, but we do talk about it. But our main thing right now is to get the team chemistry together, and also, you know, just win games, game by day, learn, and just get better. Like, that's our big goal right there. But our main focus right now is just focusing on what we can do, and also just winning games when the season starts.
There's a lot of buzz going on just about this team right now in the city and in the league. Is it hard to kind of tune that out sometimes and really focus on what's ahead of you?
Coach Steph always say, don't worry about what the outside's saying. Worry about what's inside right now, and also in our locker room. That's one thing we focusing on right now, is worry about what we can control inside of the building, and don't worry about what's going on the outside, because people are going to talk about us.
Questions about 2 of your teammates. What's something you've learned about Aliyah since getting to know her, and what's something you've learned about Caitlin?
Aliyah,
on or off the court?
Like, off the court, she's outgoing. She's an outgoing person, very sweet. But on the court, she's determined to learn every single day. And with Caitlin, she's the same on and off the court, competitive, but she's silly on the court and off the court. That's one thing I actually learned about her, that she's an outgoing person, but she's also silly. But, like, I love it, because we have different personalities on the team, and I actually love what each player brings onto the court and off the court.
Have your experiences playing alongside Maya or Sue and Stewie or Sabrina, do you feel like that's prepared you for playing alongside someone like Caitlin?
Absolutely. Like, those players actually helped me a lot. You know, playing with them, and to be honest, it actually feels good. It actually feels good to be playing with Caitlin, a true point guard that actually ready to learn even more, and you know, just being able to read off of her, see what she like and see what I like and things like that. So it's been really good to actually, be next to her and actually learn, and she learning what I like, and also just communicating and just keep talking on the things that we need to fix and what we don't need to fix.
How do you compare her as a leader to like some of those all-time greats that you've played with before?
I see it already in practice. Like she's talking, like she talking to us in the huddles and stuff. Like I feel like it's natural to her because she did it at Iowa for the 4 years that she was at Iowa. So I feel like she's gonna be in that category with the Sue Bird, the Donna Taurasi's and stuff like that. So she's gonna be a really good point guard in years to come.
I got one from the Zoom that's just come through. Tallahassee, Democrat. He's wondering your thoughts on the relationship you have with Makayla being low from FSU and her breaking your records. What was your initial reaction when they drafted her?
With KK, it's really good to be able to have a little mini me. I call her like she's going to be the next me when I retire. So I'm happy that she's a part of our team, our organization, and I'm happy that I can guide her and teach her some things, give her some of my moves, my tricks and stuff that I do in the game. But I'm really happy that she's a part of our organization. She's going to be the next great thing in the WNBA.
Our girl fever season was 25 years ago. Do you know who the original number 22 was?
Original. What?
Do you know in that season, can you guess how many points a game she averaged?
Putting me on the spot. I should have studied up.
Yeah, media guy.
Should probably pass the ball well, but 8?
7.2. Well done.
I didn't want to lowball her. That'd be disrespectful.
Caitlin, did you ever get to that corn maze after the season?
I did not, unfortunately.
Yeah,
too bad.
Talking about how good it was.
Yeah. This year, I will go after this season. I promise you. Get you a review.
Caitlin, what's the excitement level going into the game at Carver this weekend?
I'm really excited. It should be fun. I can't believe it's already here. I honestly haven't been back to Iowa City a ton since I left a year ago now. So only been back a couple times, once for a football game and once for the jersey retirement. So it'll be fun to get back there, see some of my former teammates, my friends that are there. A lot of my family will be coming, so I know they're excited. I warned everybody, I'm like, there's not air conditioning in Carver Hawkeye, so usually I don't play basketball games in May, so hopefully it stays a little cool in there. I don't know what the humidity is looking like, but we'll see how it goes. Might be a little toasty.
Iowa and May.
Yeah. People at graduation when it's in Carver get a little hot, so, but it's fine. It'll be fun.
Caitlin, Stephanie has talked about her 25 plus years been around women's basketball, how she feels like this roster is the best she's been around. How are you embracing this moment with such a big opportunity in front of yourself and the other games?
Yeah, that's all you can do is embrace it, right? Like, how lucky are we to have such a good roster and so many people that wanted to be a part of something, bigger than themselves. They saw something in this team and this organization, and you have to give Kelly and Amber a lot of credit on, selling them on this, and also them for being selfless and wanting to come here and be a part of this. So I'm just really excited. I'm lucky to be here and to have been drafted here last year, and for this franchise to put so many great resources in front of us, whether it's, obviously building the new practice facility or, just how much they invest into us and all the resources that they provide us. So really just fortunate and excited for our roster. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time to put it together. We play a back-to-back this weekend and have really only had, at that point, 5 practices. So it'll be a lot of learning on the fly, but the best thing you can do is just go out there and play with your teammates. That's the best way to learn. So we're excited.
How much easier is it to do that knowing that there's so much championship talent on this roster, and then the younger core of you guys, are used to this, the expectations of this franchise?
Yeah, I think having that balance is going to be really good for us. There's so many different weapons on this team. There's a lot of really great leadership. There's people that have won championships. Then we have our young core, our young players, a lot of people that are really, really hungry to win. And I think that's kind of what we were lacking last year. We got to the playoffs, and not only have we not won championships, we barely had playoff experience. So that was a glaring thing that we had to fix. And like I said, Kelly and Amber did a really good job of that. And those vets that have won and been on really great teams wanting to come here, we're really thankful for that. And just through these first few days of practice, everybody's been really great, and it's been so much fun. And you can tell everybody's just been very selfless and excited to be here and excited to put things together to make us a really successful team.
Have you guys been explicit so far about wanting to win a championship this year? And
Absolutely.
What does success then look like? I mean, is
a
that
championship?
Success? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin, as a basketball fan, what did you make of that Pacers finish last night?
It was crazy. I was down in the tunnel watching, so I had to go look at the ESPN win probability after that. It was like 97-9, which I'm like, how is it not 99-9? But one of the best finishes I've ever been a part of, and Pacers are so fun to watch, and it's been incredible to see obviously the state rally around them and how they support them, and also obviously how they support us, and obviously how the two teams honestly support each other, whether it's them coming to our games, whether it's us going to their games. Just both of us play a really fun style of basketball, and they're a really great team with a lot of different weapons. Their bench is really good. I think Rick does a tremendous job, so it's been fun for me to be here in the offseason and kind of see how they've evolved from the beginning of the season until now, and we're rooting for them to go the whole way. That'd be fun to have a lot of Pacer games at the same time as the Fever games, so good win for them last night.
Some of the other teammates referenced you guys having that bonding time at the game, and how do those little moments with so many new faces, how will that kind of lead to success earlier in the season this year?
Yeah, it's all about building relationships with your teammates, and that can be hard at this level when there's little time, and you're always adding new pieces. Sometimes there's cuts, sometimes there's trades, you're signing new people, so you have to be really intentional about that. And I think being able to do that in a setting like that where everybody loves basketball, everybody loves going to support the Pacers, but you still get to know your teammates and spend good quality time with them. So just have to be intentional about it, and like I've said, like relationships is going to be the most important part of this, so you can have trust within your team.
Jillian, how would you compare like where you were at this time last year, like the first week of training camp, versus like where you're at this year, physically, emotionally, mentally, all that?
I think there was just a lot coming at me last year at this time. Like, I'm trying to move to a new city. I'm living in a hotel. I'm trying to figure out my teammates, trying to figure out new coaches and how this league works and how this league operates. And, I played the last game of the college season. I played the first preseason game of the WNBA season. Then I played 11 games in 20 days. So it was a lot to take in. It came at me fast. But I'm also really grateful for that experience, too. I think it taught me a lot about basketball. It taught me a lot about myself and how to be resilient and to come in and to work and to always get better. But I feel like I'm at a much better spot of understanding how the league works, what to expect, what the coaches and your teammates are going to expect of you, and obviously have had a lot of time to rest and get better at things I want to get better at. So, all that being said, we got three preseason games to practice and really get ready for our opener on May 17th too.
What has it been just a short time with you and Stephanie as your head coach? What do you appreciate the most about what you're learning from her right now?
Yeah, I think the thing that I've always admired about Steph, and I've known her for quite some time now, obviously not on the level that I do now, but she just has a really, really good basketball mind. And if you listen to her call NBA games or college games, her knowledge of the game is far better than most people. She understands how the game is supposed to be played, situation basketball. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to put people in positions to be successful, 1 through 5 on the floor. She's going to put us in lineups that are successful. But also, she's going to hold you accountable. She's going to coach you. And that's something I'm really grateful for. But also, she's just been a good sounding board for myself to talk about certain things, whether we're watching NBA games or just talking about college basketball. It's fun to have that type of basketball mind around where you can really just talk about certain things, and you can tell how selfless she is too. This isn't about her, even though she's given a lot to this franchise. She's from this state. She won a national championship at Purdue. Coming here is far bigger than herself, but that's always what you kind of want from your leader, somebody that's going to be selfless. But at the same time, we want to win for her too. She deserves it. So we're going to try to get her another ring. She's already got one, so why not make it two?
You were at some of the press conferences in the offseason where the signings were introduced, and going from there to watching this team come together on the practice court, what has it been like for you to watch this team really come together and start to play together?
Well, it's only been 3 days, so it's a lot of learning for sure. But also, I just think everybody's, I've said this, I guess multiple times now, but really just their selflessness. And I think DB is the one that kind of stands out for me. She's won championships, but she's here to provide knowledge to our young players to help us really get over that hump and be able to win. And the same goes for Sid and Tosh. But all of them are just here to kind of be that voice for us and somebody to lean on. And I really admire that because, people don't always want to do that. So I think it's for us young players or for us people that have never won championships before is like leaning on them, relying on them, asking them questions. We can count on them, but at the same time, like I said this earlier in my media availability a couple days ago, it's like I want to win for them. Like seeing how selfless they are and, them choosing to come here and choosing to be a part of the Fever, they didn't have to do that. So I certainly want to win for them and they deserve it. And they've been great, and they will continue to be great too.
Is there any difference between how you approach relationship building from at this point from when you started at Iowa? I guess if not, just how would you kind of describe your leadership style?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. I think building relationships is all the same. Like you need to have those relationships in life too, whether it's with your friends, whether it's with your family, whether it's all of you with your job. Like how are you going to work with your coworkers and things like that? Like you have to have relationships, and same for us playing basketball. It's like, when things get heated in the moment, like you need to know that they're going to have your back, that they have your best interests at heart, and same goes for you too. So I think that's all starts with relationships. So I think it's very similar to college. Like you have to be intentional about, they don't need to be your best friend, but like you still need to have a really good relationship with them, and a lot of times they do end up being your best friend. So I think just being intentional, and obviously we're all busy, but spending time with each other, even if that's like at the Pacers game or 20 minutes shooting after practice, those little things can go a long way.
What feels different for you going into this year, especially with so much expectation now around this team?
Yeah, I think, there's always excitement heading into the season, but I think that's grown this year, knowing what the season looked like last year and how much better I feel like we're going to be this year. I think just the excitement's through the roof.
How did the unrivaled experience get you prepared to play now? It hasn't been there before, but now you have another legitimate top-tier league that you can prepare to get you ready for that. How did that help you out this summer?
Yeah, Unrivaled was an amazing experience. I think it's huge for players to be able to stay in the States, get to play against the best competition from across the league, and get to play with and against them. So having that, a month before training camp started, to just get in the gym, get to play actual competitive games, I think it's just got us all ready physically and mentally for the season to come ahead.
You got your 2 rings, now looking for the 3rd. Is that your mantra for the season?
For sure. 3 on the way.
Yeah. Go back to your engagement. What was that whole thing like for you with your fiance?
Yeah, so we went on family vacation with his family a week before training camp started, and so I just thought it was going to be a normal, reset before training camp, and ended up coming away with the ring. So very thankful. He'll be with me this whole season, so I'm just very grateful.
Lexie, how would you describe Steph's coaching style? And people have described her as a player's coach, but also someone who holds people accountable. What's it been like in your experience so far?
She, I think, pays very close attention to every little detail. There's no little things, and I think our team's going to be so good because of that. Defensively, it's a little tiny, one step forward, one step back, one step to the side. It's those little things, and I think she's just going to bring out the best in every single one of us because of that. And it's just so fun to play for her because I know that she knows the game so well, and trying to just learn as much as I can throughout the year.
She's someone that's, how has she challenged you, I guess, so far, even early on in training camp?
Just expectations. She's expecting the best, and she'll hold you accountable if you're not. So like I said, defensively, I think I'm in position, but I might be one step away. That's going to make me a better defender, having her call those little things out. So she's really excited.
What has stood out to you about the renewed emphasis on defense and adding players that can help on that side in addition to what you do?
I think it's going to make us really tough. I think, we have a lot of threats offensively, but I think everyone's buying into the fact that we're going to play 2 sides of the ball, and that's going to make us really hard to beat.
Iowa fans were such an integral part of the home fan base last season. How excited are you guys, and what's the excitement level for the team going to Iowa City to play in front of the fans there?
We know it's going to be loud. I think Caitlin said it's going to be the loudest gym we've ever played in, and I'm really excited to kind of see that fan base at home and get to play there and go back to, they're supporting us from afar, not really far, but they're supporting us from there, and to be able to play in front of them in their home gym, it's going to be really awesome, and just excited to, start the season with that type of energy.
What was your thought process during the season as the team was having one more player, another player? Did you react individually to each one and say, wow, this is a good thing, one by one?
Yeah. over the course of free agency and the trades, I think we didn't know what our team was going to look like. We knew there were going to be new players. It was going to look different. And as each of those new players got added, it was like, that's a great addition. We need that. We need the things that player brings. And then it was another and another and another. And now getting them all in the gym together and seeing how the chemistry is going to be built, what everybody brings individually, and then what that means collectively, it's just so exciting because each of the players that we have now, I mean, it just, each of them makes our team better. So to have multiple additions like that, we're really lucky.
How about last night and attending that game-winning shot with the Pacers?
I mean, what an experience. I think we were about to leave, and then we saw they came back. I mean, Gamebridge and the fans in Gamebridge make a difference. And being in that atmosphere makes me really excited for our season to start, makes me really excited for a playoff push, makes me really excited to hopefully, finally host playoff games because the energy in there was really, really cool.
Going back to free agency, how much were you talking to players like DB or anyone as they were considering coming into Indiana just to kind of have that initial talk with them, or was it more so people were making their own decisions independently?
A mix of both. I think being an Unrivaled during free agency was really interesting because so many free agents were there, and just kind of like being on the ground with people making life-changing decisions about where they're going to spend their season. So it was really interesting and fun to be part of.
Sophie, having played on very good teams before, what's important for managing expectations along the way when challenges come throughout a season?
Yeah, I think it's all about communication, being the ultimate pro, just making sure you don't let things fester. But to be honest, I think everyone in here is just full of great energy. We know where we want to be at the end of the season, and so I think people are just coming in with a great mindset every day, wanting to learn, wanting to be the best teammate possible. And when I tell you it's a good, fresh breath of air, it is. And so you guys will see it soon.
People have talked about setting expectations. Do you feel that this is a championship level group?
I think, again, we know where we want to be at the end of the season. It's all about stacking the days. I think people have had really good teams in the past, and they just couldn't make it come together. And so for us, it's making sure we have that rhythm. We have that chemistry, that we're keeping our locker room as tight as it can be and letting all the outside noise kind of do their thing, but making sure we're good as a whole.
How do you go about trying to establish and develop that chemistry?
Great question, because we have a lot of new faces here. You have a couple returners coming back here that are solid for y'all. Us, not y'all, it's us now. But I just think it's making sure that we know each other off the court. It's spending time, getting to know each other, getting to love each other. And I think when you kind of get to know each other off the court, that it naturally comes on the court, that you have that chemistry, you have that type of rhythm. But I really do think any championship team, they all love each other off the court. They know where each other comes from, and it makes it easier to go to war with them on a given night.
You played on a lot of really great teams with a lot of really great players.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of experience being able to shut out the outside noise and not pay attention to what fans and everybody is saying. How important is that to you to be able to do that, and have you been able to help this team be able to do that as well?
Yeah, since I've been in the pros, I was with DT, I was with BG, and everything that kind of BG had to go through those couple of years. And so I know what it kind of feels like to everyone watching your every single move, and it's times 100 here. And so I think that they kind of went through last year, kind of had some growth pains a little bit, but I do think that we're just a tight-knit group right now. And I know it's only day 4 or 5 being together, but when I tell you that we all care for each other and we love each other and we want this to be a super special season, I think that that's what we really want, and that's making sure that we're quieting the outside noise, protecting our locker room at all costs. And honestly, when you're dialed in and focused on a bigger picture, that kind of stuff, it's easier to kind of push away. You kind of get rid of the petty stuff and what everyone's saying because you're just so dialed in on your goal.
Do you have a lot of ticket requests for Iowa?
I have a lot of ticket requests everywhere. But yeah, being back in the Midwest, I've had about anywhere from 400 to 800 people reaching out already about tickets. And so I kind of forgot what it's like to be back home with family and friends. It's been 6 years since I've been able to play here since Missouri. And so it's going to be fun. I'm going to have a lot of people here to cheer on all of us.
How's it been being back in the Midwest? You got a little taste of winter in the middle of March and April. That's always fun.
Heck yeah. After practice yesterday, they had scalloped potatoes and meatloaf. And I was like, I am back in the Midwest. And I love it. So I'm all here. I'm for it.
Did you make
the Unrivaled experience? How did that prepare you for for now?
Honestly, I did not do it. I watched it on TV a couple times, but I did some broadcasting for the Suns this offseason and make sure that my body was just prepared for this season. And so I think they had a great experience. I think it's a really cool thing. You make money here in the United States, so you don't have to go overseas. I heard a lot of good things about it, and so I'm happy for those girls.
Is that broadcasting maybe something you want to get into post-career?
Absolutely. You know, I think I have a lot of aspirations and passions when I'm done, but I'm a present person. I'm where my 2 feet are at. But I do think I could talk to a wall. Clearly, I'm a yapper, if you guys can't notice that. And so I do feel like that's probably in my future.
You've done Warriors.
Say what?
You've done some Warriors.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, I have.
Were you with the group that went to the Pacer game last night?
You know what? I was getting my hair done.
Oh, yeah,
Thank you for
right.
noticing. But no, I didn't. I was going to go, and it was a heck of a game, but I was watching it on my phone. So congrats to the Pacers.
Being from the Midwest, it's a completely different fan base in the Midwest than it is everywhere else. What's the excitement level going into Carver Hawkeye this weekend?
I love it. You know, my little cousin, he actually plays football there. He's a tight end. I guess he's transferring to Mizzou now. But just being back in the Midwest, the people are just good people. And especially when you go to a college town like Iowa City, to get behind someone so great like Caitlin Clark, I just think there's a lot of positive and excitement news around women's basketball, around Caitlin, around Iowa. And so for us to kind of go there and kind of see what it's about, actually, they ended my career there, my senior year of Mizzou. So I'm not salty or anything.
From Iowa? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. But no, it's going to be fun just to kind of be back in that Midwest mentality of people who are all about their sports teams. And so I'm excited for it.
You've been recognized out in public yet by people getting MIZs and stuff?
You know, no MIZs, but a lot of, hey, we're ready for the fever season. So I'm all for it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all.
What were your first thoughts about Indiana as a place, Fever as a team to make this change?
This is my first free agency, so I was really excited. I went to school at Notre Dame, so I'm familiar with Indy. But I was really excited to come here with Steph and obviously Amber. I played with DB and Soph before. I've always been a fan of like Kelsey Mitchell and Natasha Howard and AB. Of course, Caitlin Clark, the generational talent, is also exciting as well. So I feel like every single element for me, Indy checked off the boxes.
What made this not fit for you this summer?
I want to win a championship, and I feel like Indy presents the best opportunity for me to grow as a player, as a teammate, as a person. Even I was able to come out here a few weeks early and train some, which is really exciting for me. Get to know my teammates better, my coaching staff better, know the city a little bit better. So for me, I think we're really just all in and focused. We have the same goal in mind.
What has been the early impressions after like 3 days of practice so far about, I think, especially leading on the defensive end?
I think there's a lot of excitement. I mean, obviously a lot of us are new coaching staff, over half the team is new players. But I think we're all professionals at the end of the day. We all know we have a goal in mind. But I think we've been really focused. A lot of people are able to come out early, which I think is great. Give us a little bit of like extra work together before the season actually starts. But I think coming in, I think for me it's just been like the focus, the attention to detail. Obviously with Steph being a new coach, but she's not new to the league, so I think that's exciting too because we have a vet coach even though she's new to this team. And I think Steph just knows her stuff, so that's really exciting to be under her and her staff.
How have your first few days here in Indy kind of been different than Chicago, than Phoenix, or the rest of your career?
I would say I don't know. I feel like it's not like obviously different city, different atmosphere, but I mean each team has its own like different pieces. But I say Indy's just another like professional place, different things in store, and another exciting opportunity for me in my career.
Have you gone out at all?
Excuse me?
Have you gone out around town at all?
Yeah, I have gone around town. I really like Garage Food Hall. I've been there a few times. I've been to Side Door Bagels. They have really good bagels. Levy and Bakery, I think it's called. Obviously, I love food. Everything I'm saying is food related, so I'm a big foodie. So if anyone has any recommendations, please let me know. So I love to cook, love to eat, so yeah.
So I'm assuming you've had a tenderloin then since...
A what? Sorry.
Pork tenderloin sandwich?
Actually, I don't eat red meat, so I haven't had that yet, but I love sushi. I've been to Hasuno down the street. It's really good. So yeah, had some good spots so far.
Bonner said she was recognized on the streets when she went to the grocery store. Have you had that experience yet?
Yeah. I've been to Costco a few times. Every time I go to Costco, someone recognizes me. I don't know what it is about there, but Costco shoppers love Indiana Fever players. I have to say that.
Have you thought about what it would be like with all that attention and 41 of 44 games on national TV, both from a positive standpoint, family can always watch and things like that?
I haven't thought about it yet, honestly. It hasn't really hit me. I feel like I'm more of like a day-to-day person. But I think it really is exciting, the accessibility. I mean, I'm from Houston, Texas growing up. I used to watch Houston Comets a lot. So it's really awesome that like kids, families, everyone can just tune in on TV. Even I saw all the preseason games are going to be streamed live on the WNBA app. So I think accessibility is a huge part to growing the game. So I'm glad that fans have the opportunities to see us play.
What stands out the most about watching this team come together and play together these first few days, especially going into the first few preseason games?
I definitely just say like the maturity level, the professionalism. I think everyone is just so laser focused, even the rookies. They're just really absorbers, they're sponges, which is really cool to see how they just want to like learn the game more and just learn from the vets, learn from the coaches. So I think it's everyone just being really in tune and being focused, because sometimes that's not always the case. But I'm glad that like here we all have like the same goal. This is not shade, and I'm people like, you're shade. No, this is no shade to anybody I ever played for, any previous teammates. It's just like stands out for me is just like how everyone is just so like, we come to practice, we're ready to work. It's no like extra stuff. It's just like, we're here to practice, we're here to get better, we're here to win a championship. So that's the main goal. So keep the main thing has been really cool.
With that being said, how do you feel like, what do you think you'll be able to bring to the team to get into that level? Because it's basically, with this type of roster, it becomes, you know, you want to push towards the championship or not bust, but you know, it's like championship mentality, right? So what will you be able to bring to the organization?
I think definitely just a spark from the defensive end, being able to run the floor. I think my strengths are running the floor, rebounding, and playing great defense. So I think all those things can be helpful to this team. Two more.
When you talk about accessibility, is that especially valuable for kids? Because there's been a lot of kids coming to games last year. I would assume that's where the growth came from.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you can be it, if you can see you can be it. Like I said, I grew up watching Houston Comets, and now I'm literally in the WNBA. And I think accessibility is a huge thing for that. Because say like 10, 15 years ago, if you ask somebody, what's your WNBA team's name, what's their mascot, they might not know. But now you see commercials, you see the billboards, you see the social media content, you see people's jerseys selling out. So I think definitely you can see them, you can be them. And I think it's awesome for kids, boys and girls, to look up to professional women's athletes. So I think that's just awesome for kids to see.
For somebody that grew up watching the WNBA, like you mentioned, the league now is very different than it was even 2-3 years ago. What does it mean to you as a kid that grew up watching the league to see where the league has grown and where it is now?
It's really awesome. People always say, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want your WNBA career to be? And I just want to leave it better than I found it. I mean, I was drafted in 2019, and the league has seen tremendous growth in just that short amount of time. So I'm excited to see what it looks like 6 years from now, 12 years from now, and when I'm in 20, 30 years, and I'm a season ticket holder at whatever city I'm in. But it's just really awesome to me to see the growth, see all you guys here, see all the fans, see the sellouts, see the jerseys, and I think we have always deserved it, but I'm glad that it's finally making its mark globally now.
Oh yeah, and super exciting, just grateful.
Kind of like something you dreamed about? Something you dreamed about?
Oh yeah, it definitely is, a dream come true, and just gonna keep doing and working hard and being the person who I am.
Did you have any conversations with the Fever, like leading up to that? Like, were there chats, were there talks, were they trying to discuss anything with you, or was it just totally unexpected?
It was totally unexpected. I didn't talk to them at all, the week before the draft, so I'm just blessed to be here though, but it was unexpected.
Natasha called you like mini-me, and she hopes you're really able to absorb a lot. What does that all kind of mean to you, and to be able to have her as a mentor around?
It means a lot to me. Tosh, we're cool with each other. She's just a genuine person, and I'm grateful to be able to spend time with her here and just to get to know her even more on a personal level, in person. But I just can't wait to, watch her and be who she has been in the W.
Did you try to pick the brand of like Caitlin or Aliyah of what it's like coming straight from college, and try to how you balance the mental and the physical, and checking in with people probably still back at college who are about to graduate, and you won't be able to walk with them, I assume, right?
Yeah, I won't be able to. I won't be able to walk, but I always talk with Aliyah every single day. Okay. I'm looking at her, she's in my position. Like, I'm just watching her, seeing the growth that she's had in the W, and just being able to learn and soak it all in and do what she's doing on the floor.
I know it's only been a short period of time, but so far interactions with the city, the fans, getting to know kind of this place that loves not only basketball, but the Fever in particular so much. How's it been so far, just getting familiar and getting to know the city a little bit so far?
It's been pretty good. I just been taking my time just walking, exploring a little bit, but not doing too much, but it's a great city and the fans here are super incredible. And I just can't wait to see them on Saturday and just to get to know them on a personal level because they're amazing people and I'm just grateful.
And to follow up, did you have any preconceived ideas about what Indianapolis would be like? I know most people do, but for you, did it meet expectations, exceed expectations to kind of really be in it and realize, this is home now? How's it feel?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I know it's going to be crazy in the crowd. We got Caitlin who, put all the exposure to women's basketball since her great rookie year last year. So, I just knew the crowd's going to be great, the fan base is going to be great, the atmosphere is going to be great. So I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Have you had any conversation with Coach White, and what's it going to be like playing for such a great coach like that?
Yeah, I had a few conversations with her yesterday at practice. She just told me just be a sponge and watch the vets and do the things that I've been doing. So that's what I need to do and just, it's all a learning process. So just being willing to learn and also just working hard every single day and being consistent.
Congratulations.
Do you take that as positive encouragement? She said, do the things you didn't do.
Yeah, I absolutely do. She's not putting too much on my plate. She knows that it's going to be a learning process. It's all new to me. I'm a rookie, so I'm just here to learn and develop, but I took that as a very good compliment from her.
One more.
How do you like living in the Midwest so far?
It's pretty good. It's kind of like Tallahassee a little bit right now. It rained one day and then it was sunny. So right now it's pretty good, but I know it gets cold here. So I'm really not excited for the cold, but I'll get used to it.
Snow, so that's a positive for you, Matt?
What are you
missing the April snow?
Oh, yeah. I don't really want the snow.
There's no Sonny's barbecue.
No Sonny? Oh, it's going to be all right. I hope I'll find some barbecue spot
That's
that I
what
like.
Agness posted about Tallahassee.
We'll kind of go back to your draft night and what was that whole experience like for you, and did you have any indication that the Fever were interested in you?
Yeah, just an incredible opportunity to be able to be there. I was with my team back at school at Gonzaga, and just having everyone there supporting me, I couldn't have asked for anything better. And just knowing that the Fever was definitely interested and kind of saw potential in me. Hearing my name and seeing it on the screen and knowing that that's where I was wanted. I think that's the best opportunity I could ask for.
Given having a competitive camp, what has been your approach knowing, hey, I got to go out and earn it?
Yeah, just being a sponge, soaking everything up that I can, learning from the people out there, the people that I'm playing with, and just making the time that I can on the court with them, and just putting one foot in front of the other. We're gonna make mistakes, things are gonna happen, but as long as I'm still going out there with energy and the right attitude and effort, then stuff are gonna work out.
What have the first few days of training camp been like for you? Just how is it different than college?
Yeah, it's definitely faster, different style of basketball, a lot of new concepts and just learning on the fly. But I feel that's the fun part about it, just being out here playing this type of basketball, but super fast and definitely different from college.
You really developed an interior game at Gonzaga. How do you feel that translates to what you just described, a faster, more spread out style?
Yeah, I think just being able to get out and run in transition, being able to use my abilities inside and outside. I think just having that flexibility and fluidity on the court really helps me just, fit into any spot that I can and hopefully bring that advantage at any position.
You're a member of your national team as well, right? So you're a little different from the other rookies. What is it like kind of bringing that professional experience into this professional experience?
Yeah, I think if anything, I've had a lot of teammates that are on WNBA teams right now, so I've had a little bit of experience playing against them, playing against older players that have played in the WNBA. So not being totally new to this elite level of basketball, how the style is played, the decision making and everything, I think that really helps me just as a rookie coming in, hopefully pick up stuff a little bit better here at the Fever.
Given those connections, have you come across Andrew Nemhart at all? Gonzaga, Canada, any of that?
Yeah, I went to school with him, so I'm pretty good friends with him. Went to school with his younger brother. My older brother and him played on the national team as well together, so a lot of connections through there. And then I know Natalie Achonwa played here as well, so being able to connect with them has been really cool.
What have they been telling you about Indianapolis, living out here?
Enjoy the Midwest. Bring a jacket. I'm like, it's summertime. I don't think I'm gonna need a jacket. But you know, just like go out there and like explore things. And I like to do that stuff. So really good advice from them.
You gotten to do any sightseeing yet, or has it just been go since you've gotten here?
Just a lot of it through downtown. Just been strolling, trying to find food spots, coffee shops, whatever I can really like, you know, come across. But it's been good so far.
You had time to decompress and enjoy your last few weeks of life, or has it felt almost too busy for you to have those opportunities?
Definitely busy for sure, but then again, like always trying to stay present and in the moment. And I think just as we like keep looking for whatever's like next and all this stuff, I think that becomes a little bit easier on that front.
And talking about decompressing, as you have free time, if you have free time, what are you listening to? What's kind of been the music, the playlist for your debut? What artist or album, even genre?
Yeah, super chill R&B. I feel like I go home and I just play that playlist on repeat. I use Spotify, so I'm on the like kind of like random shuffle where it gives you like song recommendations. I'm like, that's great because I need some. But honestly, just a chill R&B.
Kind of take us back to draft night, what your emotions were getting picked, especially to play with Aliyah again here.
It was incredible. I was so excited, so happy. The first person that called me was actually Aliyah. Just so excited. We were screaming on the phone. I was hugging my mom, my dad, and just all the people that were there to support me. But it was a super incredible feeling, and I'm just so blessed to be here.
Did Aliyah say anything beyond the screaming? Was she helping you?
Not that I can remember, because my phone just started blowing up, and it just I had to end it and start calling the next person or answer the next person.
How has she been a nice asset for you to lean on throughout this process, especially given you go straight from one season to the next year?
Yeah, she's been very, very helpful. I mean, she's been in my ear this entire time, this entire journey, even before actually being drafted, just helping me on the court and things, even in college. But in practices, she's there. She's communicating what she thinks I need to do, what she's seeing on the court, what she thinks, you know, what was maybe the right read, or maybe I should consider doing something else. But she's been very helpful, and I'm so blessed that she's been able to be there for me, honestly.
Any tips about Indianapolis as well as the favorite?
To be truly honest, I live in Dayton, Ohio, so I've been to Indianapolis like multiple times, and I had a lot of AAU tournaments here.
Oh, so you played when you were young?
Yeah.
What led to you buying into becoming such a great defender and willing to take on whomever the best player is? Because not a lot of players are willing to do that.
Yeah, I just felt like it was the role that I had to play for my team. I wanted to win, and I would do anything for my team to win.
How have these last couple weeks, how have you kind of looked forward, but also reflected on like, oh, this is a big deal for me to be done with school, be going
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
How have you reflected on what you accomplished like this month, finishing school and all that, but also look forward at?
Yeah, I mean, I graduated actually early in December, but I'm just super proud of a lot of the things I've accomplished. It's not like, you know, many people can do the things that we do as student athletes, and it's really hard, really difficult. But I'm super proud, and I'm just very happy with myself.
With your schedule, I imagine being a whirlwind right now, a very short period of time, one season to the next. How have you been focusing, I guess, or what area have you been focusing on as far as improvement the most? Any particular thing, or are you just trying to really all around be a sponge, and where's your focus been so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd say I've just been an all-around sponge. You know, the vets have been helping me with a lot of different things. I mean, college ball and pro ball is two totally different games, and you got to be willing to really learn and listen. And I feel like that's really the biggest step for me. And I'd also say I've been trying to really improve on my shot and shot creating, shot making. But yeah, like I said, I feel like I've been a sponge and listening and all dynamics of the game.
You can have a lot of family driving over from Dayton this
weekend?
Yes,
absolutely. I'll have tons of family, tons of friends that'll be there.
I'm also from Ohio, Cleveland. Don't know if you were a Cavs fan at all. Don't want to talk about them now because the Pacers are about to play them in the playoffs. It's a sensitive time.
Yeah.
So I know, rooting-wise, I don't know if that's something you're going to be paying attention to at all.
I mean,
with those Ohio roots.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be rooting for the Pacers since, you know, I am here, and of course I would like to support the home state. But I'd say I was a Cavs fan, but really I am a huge LeBron fan. So whatever team he goes to, I'm a huge fan of.
Last one.
Being from Ohio, great girls being drafted. How does it feel to be in this position, and what did Dawn Stanley say to you since you got drafted, and how's the conversation been with Coach?
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot. Small city, and just to have 3 girls being drafted from Dayton is incredible.
Yeah.
So proud of them, and I made sure to text them all, like, so proud, and I'm always there for them, rooting for them. But Coach, she's just been in my ears, asking me how I've been doing. She asked me, I think literally the other day, yesterday, how's it going? So she's been very supportive, and the whole coaching staff has been asking me to keep in contact.
Amazing stuff.
Thank you.
Championships. What stood out to you about this training camp that Beaver had just through a couple days versus what those teams did around that same time?
I think all those teams that I've been on in the past that I've won have been super communicative. And the leadership comes from the people on the court, not always the coaches, having to get honest. And I think we've seen that. I don't know what practices were like last year, but I think with the addition of a lot of us vets, we're not really coming in and kind of waiting to speak. That you have, wisdom and advice to give, and so you want to give it. But the beautiful thing too is that our younger players speak too. It's not just if you're older you get a say. Everybody has some knowledge to give, and we all respect one another's voices, and we all work hard. So it's just made it super fun. But yeah, I think those are the things that are similar.
You like that environment? You prefer that too?
Yeah.
Being a veteran on that team.
Yeah, I mean, I like a mixture. I think both have their pros, but I think the mixture that we have is really good because you got young players that are hungry and competitive, and they want to be great, and you have veterans who have proven themselves in this league, and some that have won, and so it's a really good combination, just to have everybody be hungry in different ways.
Steph said her message on Saturday was unity. What stood out to you about that message leading into day 1 of camp?
Just that we got to do it together. Steph and the assistants have, made it one of our mottos to just stack the days, and get better, 1% better every day. And I think us doing that together and being united is going to help us get to a point later in the season where all right, we've had these tough practices, so now these games are really not cake, but it's much easier than the situations that we've been put in practice. So yeah, you need unity, as a team, obviously.
I think an underrated skill that you have is your ability to sort of bring communities together, especially through social media. And I'd love to know, how you're talking to the players off the court, what you're trying to teach them, how you're keeping it, fun but focused.
Yeah. I think, that's just, always been my thing. Any environment that I'm in, I want us to work for whatever the main goal is and whatever the ultimate goal is. But, in the route to get in there, you can lose the reason why you do all of this if you're not having fun. It just becomes work, which is, it's true, it is a job. But when you're having fun, it's way easier to keep pushing through the tough parts or the tough days. And so I want to always remind my teammates, just remember why you started doing this and why you show up every day. And on days where you're not feeling your best, pick somebody else up. It helps you to get outside of yourself. And yeah, just for the new players, rookies or just players who are new to camp, just checking on them to make sure that they're good. Because when you're playing tight and worried about being cut, you're usually not being your best self because you're so just worried about what you feel might inevitably happen. And so, just trying to make sure everybody's loose. Yeah.
What have you thought of Indianapolis so far?
It's been cool, but I haven't been able to do a lot, to be honest. I'm kind of tired after workout, so I've just been going home. But I'm gonna find time to explore more. People have been saying that Carmel is a cool place to go to for restaurants and stuff too. So I'm gonna probably be comparing restaurants here to out there, and just trying to get out in the community and see what there is to offer.
What
you got recommendations about something?
The Garage has been name dropped already. That's a pretty
Garage?
good spot. Yeah, off of Mass Ave. It's a big food hall.
Okay,
that
good
one's
to
been
know.
recommended. Yeah.
Okay.
Boca has a really good happy hour if you're into that kind of thing, oysters, spritzes,
You trying to get me drunk?
No, I'm just making offers. I don't know. About the same age, you gotta feel young or whatever. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Garage. Okay, I got it.
So what brought you here? What drew you to Indianapolis in this opportunity?
The people. I'm all about the people and the relationships wherever I go, and I got a great vibe from Amber Cox. I heard great things about Stephanie. Obviously knew she was as a player, but and then just the players that I knew and the players that were coming, it just made it
very enticing to me, and it has proven to be, a great choice so far.
What's your message to a fan base that also has high expectations? They see this team, the established veterans, the young potential, and they say, look at this team, there's no way we can't win it all this year. So a message for fans who are just as have high expectations like you guys do.
Yeah. I think, be confident like that, but give grace too. Even the great teams, they're gonna drop some games. There are lulls in season sometimes, but I think, just be excited about the people that we have here. That's what I would say. Do your best to find out more about the players, because then it'll make you excited about supporting this team even more and cheering for them when they get out there. But I think their excitement is appropriate, and we do have high expectations for ourselves as well. So it's gonna be a fun season. We can't wait to see them.
Things when the trade went down and what you're thinking about moving to this franchise.
First impression was just I'm just ready to go. I love the atmosphere that's here. I love everything about it. I love the players. I just wanted to learn from the vets. That was my main mentality coming in.
What has kind of been your first impressions here the last week?
Oh my gosh. I was just talking to everybody. Everybody's very genuine here. And it's just real and authentic. I love everybody's just demeanor. People want the best out of everybody, and that's just what I live for, and that's what I want to continue to project to as well.
The battle to make the roster, what's kind of your mentality approaching?
Just to be myself, exactly, just to be authentic and just know that I'm a team player, and I want to play my role as best as I can and just help us win. I'm going for a championship, and I think everybody else is here too. So that's the main mentality going forward.
How does that energy help that effort? Because everyone is, like you said, ready to win, want to win a championship.
Yeah.
The fans want to win, so
Absolutely.
that mentality is in this building. How does that feel to be surrounded by that?
It's just it's a huge, kind of relief, and that have that support system behind you. Everybody's going after the same thing, and that's so rare just to see in this world. We all have the same goal in mind. So it's just almost a relief off the individual side, and just being able to just kind of just be yourself and just go after what we all want. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I was going to ask if there was any pressure, but for you it sounds like no, this is a breath of fresh air to have all these eyes on it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of pressure just to show up and be your best and just be who you are. Just to have that vulnerability to yourself. But other than that, there's this atmosphere is so welcoming and so genuine, like I said before, so it's hard to have that much pressure on yourself.
Have you had any conversations with Coach White, and what will you bring to this Fever team this season?
A lot of heart, a lot of energy. I think I would bring my speed and my athleticism. I want to do what's best for the team. That's what I have in mind for this season. So that's just what I have, and hopefully what they can bring, what they can, how do I say this, sorry. What they can give me, I can give back to them 10 times more.
What have been your early impressions here for the first week of the year?
Honestly, it's been really amazing. I've been here actually since the beginning of April, so people have been so welcoming and just really just they want you here. You can feel that excitement. I love, from the GM, Amber, to Coach Stephanie and all the players, everyone has just been super welcoming and honestly loving. And for people to be that way kind of in the first couple of weeks really shows the kind of good-hearted people that I'm around.
On the court, what are you trying to demonstrate and leave an impression for them?
My biggest thing is doing the things that I do best, the reasons that they brought me here, which is rebounding, running the floor, shooting, getting in the post, and making things happen. So I feel as long as I stick to the things that they know that I can do best, that'll be working in my favor.
What made Indiana the right choice for you when you were looking for your home? So.
Absolutely the right choice because of, one, what they're going after. This organization is going to be big time. It's already big time, and it's on the rise. And I'm always wanting to be a part of something special, something that's groundbreaking, and I believe that's what's happening here. And with Coach Stephanie and just her resume, playing with DeWanna, I was drafted to Phoenix, so she was my vet when I was a rookie. And Tosh, I played against her in Turkey, so it just all aligned perfectly.
What has Coach White talked to you about as far as the role and things like that? Have you guys had a conversation?
Yes. I talked to her. Yeah, she's one thing I like about her is that she's approachable and that she definitely if you go to talk to her, she's gonna give you your full attention. And she's told me that the biggest thing for me is just being who I am, being a 4, rebounding, understanding the spacing,
and basically doing whatever you need to do to add value to the team. So I'm gonna come in and do that every day. Thank you.
Do you feel like a good mix of personalities and experience with also some fresh young players as well?
Absolutely. Huge. I feel like the mix here, that's the thing that makes it so special, is like it feels like almost perfect. With the vets, DeWanna, Tosh, and then you have younger players, Caitlin, and then like in the middle, like who aren't really vets but aren't really rookies, and then you have the rookies. I think everyone gels really well. Everyone speaks to each other with respect, and we all care for each other, and we want everyone to be better. Yeah.
Haven't been here since early April. I don't know if you've had a chance to do any gelling off the court, had a chance to kind of kick it in the city with your teammates, frankly. Have you done anything yet, any nights that stand out or highlights so far?
Yeah, I have actually. Me and Aliyah, we have gone to eat. We've tried this place near our apartment called Sushi Den. I've watched Aliyah's dog. I've hung out with her. So I've spent a lot of time with Aliyah as far as off the court, but I also have gone to get coffee with other teammates as well. So that's been really nice. And we had a team dinner on Saturday right before training camp started. So that just already shows you what type of team this is, that we're already starting our chemistry.
Did you feel like getting here in early April was like a good idea, like now that you've done it? Like, how did that benefit you?
I think it benefited me a lot. One, because when I come in early, I get to learn, what is the coach looking for? What is the principles that is important here? And what are the defensive scheme, offensive schemes, getting the action? So coming in early, having that like already in my head. So when camp starts, like I'm rolling with those things. It's been imperative to where I am now. So yes, it was very important.
Thank you, everyone.